Hey up everyone, what's going on and welcome back to Sheffield United, where we're trying to crack the top 4 with 3 games remaining in this second season. And since we've last met, there's only been one man on the score sheet. Yeah, you know who it is already, it's Dominic Calvert-Lewin of course, but he scored 4 goals in 2 games. After not scoring in 3, which is his largest gap between games, quite remarkably, he scored a hat-trick and then 1 against his former club, Everton. Now, we're just going to briefly talk about this Newcastle match because 2 very easy goals scored by them because nobody was marking either of these players when they had their shots. First one particularly baffling as 2 players charged down the assister and left Callum Wilson alone in the middle of the box. Just completely alone. That was part of the patch notes. Improving defender mentality when pressing players. Didn't work there, clearly, so still work to be done there, SI. Alan Saint-Maximin's goal was a little bit more obvious because he just left Adam Smith behind, who was injured. He may have been injured during the highlight, I'm not quite certain. 93rd minute, it was hard to take, equalising in the 93rd minute there. Dominic Calvert-Lewin had other ideas. Hat-trick there, 94th minute. Well done, Dominic. Bailing us out once again. And then a good result. Xhaka on a 7.6, well worth it. There was a certain goal that he saved. I don't know how he saved it, quite frankly. Ramsdale wouldn't have, that's for certain. Xhaka, one of my favourite signs of the year. We've conceded in a fair few games. It feels like he's been let down. It feels like he's not made any flaps or drops or anything like that we saw with Ramsdale last year. Great performance, befitting of the player. But now, 3 games. Tottenham, Watford, Bournemouth. And you might have noticed it next to Dominic Calvert-Lewin's name there. He's out for the rest of the season. 6 goals is the gap for the... He's got 34 goals. 34 goals in the Premier League. You might be right, it's a 6-goal gap. He's got 38 in 38 starts. It's a goal a game. It's a goal a game. The worst part is he's not going to get to 40 games. He's not going to have a 40-goal season because he is out. He might just be back for the last one. And that wouldn't be a problem if Edinson Cavani wasn't out for the rest of the season as well. Someone sent assassins to our training ground because we've had about 5 injuries in the week between Everton and Tottenham. Mourinho's not in charge, but I wouldn't put it past him if he was still in charge of Tottenham. His injury, a fractured toe, 3 to 5 weeks. I fear for Cavani, actually, because I really fear this injury, particularly with it being a toe injury, might kill the pace that he had remaining. I am worried about him. But the Premier League, you can see on the right-hand side there, we are 5th. We haven't played this week yet, so that's why everyone else has played their games pretty much, except for Arsenal behind us, who 4 points behind, fingers crossed, aren't going to factor into this. If Wolves could hold them here, that would be wonderful. Well, if we win this game against Tottenham, basically, we will go 3rd, and 3rd for certain. We'll be 78 points, 1 point behind Chelsea and Liverpool. We're still in the title fight, technically. But I'm not thinking about the title. They only suggest one change, and that's Curtis Jones for James Maddison. Curtis Jones back after a very long injury. He is not match fit at all. He should not be starting this game, but I will pop him on the bench somewhere. We've got Gagliardini, Norwood, and Hendricks. I think Hendricks steps out there. He wasn't actually at full fitness yesterday, conditioning-wise, so it was probably the least conditioned of the players available, and with 2 defenders on the bench because of all the injuries we've had. McGoldrick's out, none of that one really mattered. Edwards took an injury as well. Caicedo's still injured, of course. Verrips got injured. That one didn't really matter. Yeah, we've had about 4 injuries this week. It's not great, but the lineup here will be Xhaka in goal, Ruggeri, Badiashile, Shield, Smith can go back to being a complete wing-back because he was injured last match. I actually had to play Kolasinac on the wrong side against Everton, so I'm glad we managed to see that one out. Berge and Gomez in the middle, Maddison, Palacios, Gallardo on that front line. Maddison taking over that left-hand side. Brewster's performance has not been great there previously. Palacios has developed quite nicely, actually, already. And then Brewster up front. I do need to have a word with James again. This left-hand side has been problematic. Pick yourself up, James. Come on, mate. And Brewster, basically being the only other functional striker. I mean, Curtis Jones can go there. Renier is 1 star, but Brewster basically only other reasonable striker. I mean, this is on complete forward as well, so that doesn't give the full picture of potential forwards. It's a little bit problematic. But this is, of course, is a 3-game bonanza. Merry Christmas, everyone. Oliver Skip, a bit surprising. Sessenon, maybe a bit surprising. Parrott on the bench. What appears to be a couple of other possibly youngsters. I don't know these names at the bottom here. Interesting. Backup goalkeeper is fascinating. Have they had a lot? It looks like they might have some injury crises as well, because Jedvaj isn't a central defender, normally. He was pretty much exclusively signed by Liverpool last year as a backup right-back. I seem to remember of Jedvaj. Or Jedvaj. I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce his name. Can we continue this? Now, Gagliardini and Berge actually, bizarrely, playing them the other way round, with Berge in this DLP on the right, and Gagliardini is the box-to-box last match. Suddenly they had a good working relationship, playing him the other way around. I don't know why that's a thing. Son whips that one across. It looked like Gallardo headed that one, but Lo Celso is... Well, I'm pretty certain he was off the pitch to start with there. So yes, of course he was offside. Ruggeri is going to lob that ball incredibly hard at the player he was threw it to there. But Gallardo's got on the end of this and popped it in the goal, which is a nice little tidy finish at the end of all that. But I was so baffled by the throw at the start of all this. Ruggeri just throws it seemingly. It looked a lot harder in real time, that throw. Burge, with a very curious, disguised cross almost there, finds Gallardo's head, and in the goal it goes. What's been quite interesting is the box-to-box player in this system with the DLP on his right rather than the ball-winning midfielder. The box-to-box player has been performing quite well every game. You saw it last time actually as well. Even though we drew with Atalanta, it was Jorrit Hendricks who played in the box-to-box there. He had a very good game. He was one of the better performers, and it's been the same in every game since. Ruggeri, well, that's unfortunate. Only Son's 10th goal. Is he underrated possibly in the game? Probably, let's be honest. I'm pretty certain Son was last year as well. But this is incredibly unfortunate. It almost like Son prepared for that. His head was already down as Ruggeri made the attempted clearance. Something a little bit suspect there with the game engine, I feel like, but we'll move on. Madison has got to Fofana on this left-hand side. Fofana's gone for a nice little dribble for... I mean, he doesn't get up that end of the pitch that often. It's just a nice little day out for him. Skip as... Well, he's skipping past every... Well, I would say attempted challenge, but no, he didn't really attempt to challenge him. He just tracked him and ran into him about 3 or 4 times and managed to not get the ball somehow. Gomez, I think that was number 10, has made his way to Lo Celso again. Son now. Jedvaj. I might just call him Tin from now on because I'm not really certain how I'm supposed to be pronouncing his name. Jedvaj, maybe? Burge smashes it at Lloris. Short option covered in the resulting corner. They still go for it though, which is bold. And it goes out for the throw-in on the corner flag. Don't get to see it though. Son playing as an attacking playmaker on that right-hand side. Is that right? Fairly certain he's an inside forward / just straight up forward these days on the left. And I'm fairly certain Lucas Moura is normally played on the right as well. I thought he was left-footed, Lucas Moura, because he plays on the right inside Italy. That's not a phrase I know. Are they playing all their players in the wrong positions? No wonder Tottenham aren't challenging. Madison, Gallardo at the back post again, and he nearly gets another in almost an identical fashion. A lot of highlights in this game already. Far cry. We've been 4 shots on target, and I'm pretty certain we've seen all 4 of them. Pierre with an actually lovely challenge there. I love the fact that my player claimed a penalty there. That might be a new animation. I don't think I've seen that before. Madison in all the space though, and finishes that. Beautiful ball to James Madison. It's only his 5th goal, but I reckon this is all about that assist. They can talk about players missing the header or all that jazz all they like, but it's this assist from... Is it Adam Smith or Gomez who gets it? It's Gomez who does the assist and somehow sees the fact that it says Jedvaj missed a header there. He didn't even try. He wasn't even looking the right way when the cross went in. And it would be a very tight offside, I imagine. No, playing near side made that a lot easier than it should have been. But that was a beautiful vision from Sergio Gomez, who, thank God, he's got a work permit now. 2-1 at the break. Things are going well, capable of even better. I really wish I could just create a macro for that halftime team talk where it just finds things are going well, you can play even better, and then follows it with assertive faith. I feel like I just do that every time. They brought on Troy Parrott, I see. But are we just going to have a repeat of the first half? It doesn't look like it. It looks like it's going to be highlightless, which I'm absolutely fine with. Madison knackered. Curtis Jones can come on for a few minutes. That's fine. Some jiggery pokery sees Gagliardini come on in the box-to-box position as other players move around a little bit. It's triggered a highlight. That's not great. Burge. Well, Burge is still on the pitch. He's quite tired. Smith is tired. He's on a 6.4. I have literally nobody to replace him with in the entire club. We've got 2 right backs and they're both injured. Well, they were both injured for one match. There is a youngster who I can maybe try. And for the last few minutes, Burge is booked as well. Let's just get Norwood in there. He's all right as a playmaker, so he can do it. That's fine. Lo Celso pops one in. It's headed out. Gomez on it now. Chance to break if he can get it to Brewster. Brewster's run offside. Play it out wide. Gallardo's there. Gallardo holds it up. Just plays it all the way back to Adam Smith. Just no nonsense. That's all right. Just don't lose the ball here, Adam. Fofana back out to Gallardo once more. Gomez. Brewster is not going to get... Oh, he is going to get into this. Great save. A lot of players very tired, but we do get a week's gap between every single one. Apparently we need to change a defender, even though we have no more substitutions available to us. Oh, Gagliardini's banging one in. You can tell I wasn't prepared for that one. Just no idea that was about to happen. But they didn't cover the short option. We take the short option. He puts it to Gagliardini, who first time slams it straight down the middle. Beautiful, really. For some reason they were playing Sessegnon ahead of Reguilon. But well worth our victory, actually. 2.39 on the old XG. Well done, lads. Good win for us. 3-1. We've done our job, puts us back in third, as you can see there. Massive goal difference problems, though, when it comes to Manchester City. They have 55 goal difference. Any slip-ups will be punished. As Wolves do hold Arsenal, so I think that pretty much takes Arsenal out of it. Arsenal beat PSG, as Monaco deal with Atalanta as well. Oh, that's irritating. Monaco-Arsenal Euro final. That's basically the Thierry Henry derby, isn't it? Clarence Seedorf is in charge of Watford. Alright, fair enough. Don't know why I expected him to be better. Cavaloing back in 5 days, he should just make the last match. But today, sadly, not quite. Curtis Jones has irritatingly played for the under-23s while I wasn't paying attention. And John Egan's taken a knock that I didn't see either. Crikey. But with everything in mind, Xhaka in goal, Ruggeri, Badiashile, Fofana, Smith, backline unchanged, Gagliardini and Burge in the middle. See, they like each other now. Maddison, Gomez and Gallardo, Brewster up front. Just knows Palacios' last 5, 6.58. It's not great. I'll bench him for this one, see if he'll pick up after that. Renier is also a shout for that right hand side at some point, but we might as well get the most out of Gallardo while we've still got him. Gagliardini for Palacios is the only change, but did well against Tottenham. Watford still have some good players. We can qualify for the Champions League if we avoid defeat. So 1 point guarantees us top 4. There's an immediate highlight. I was going to say that I may not talk over this quite as much as the interest in getting these last 2 games in at a reasonable amount of time, but there's an immediate highlight, so we'll see how this pans out. Well, they got the ball straight away, which is not looking good for us immediately. Felipe Anderson, if someone would like to, never mind, deal with that, I was going to say, but 30 seconds in, they've had a chance. I don't like that. I don't like that immediately. As Liverpool go 1-0 down to Fulham, that's incredibly massive for the top of the table. Oh, and they've equalised straight away. Maddison almost scores. I want to get the table up, but the highlights aren't letting me. All right, so that's been cleared out to Brewster, who's held it up quite nicely as the rest of the attack join him now, although it has gone all the way back to the goalkeeper. So breaks over. Can we just build up a normal attack here? That has found Maddison, who has wonderful ball to Brewster. Equally good challenge there by Ballard. I want to get the table up here because I want to see how that changes things. Liverpool have taken the lead. In fact, we don't need our own formation. Chelsea are drawing. Liverpool are winning. Chelsea were behind, so that's why there was the 3-point gap. I thought they were even going into this round of fixtures. All right, so we pick up the ball down here now. Another great ball from Maddison through to Brewster. Can he finish this one off? No, he cannot. Ryan Brewster, please find your shooting boots. If you've left them in the dressing room, it's half-time in about 5 minutes. We can get them on for you then, mate. Liverpool 3-1 up. Looks like they're going to do the business over Fulham. A very lucky deflection to Maddison there from that throw. Gallardo does head that on. Brewster's got to be offside. He's found his shooting boots, but he's forgotten how to play football. He's forgotten the rules. Was that offside? He was about a pitch length offside. Yes, it's disallowed. Of course it's disallowed. This is going to turn out not to be quite as... No, it is massively offside. Like, it felt massively offside in the real time, but sometimes it's not quite as a bigger gap as it feels like. That one was. I don't think I've seen a player more offside. I don't know what my assistant wanted me to say there, but I'm not happy. Got to bear in mind with this performance, of course, like I said, Watford are fighting for their survival here. Whilst 2 teams are down, there is a team on 28 points, just 1 point behind Watford right here, so still all in the balance for that 3rd relegation spot. Gallardo can play it out wide if he wants to. He hasn't done just yet. Burge will find Gallardo again, though. Smith puts the ball in. Gomez wide. There's not a great deal of bad performances here. Just a lot of average. That doesn't make its way to Brewster again. We are pressing high, though. Dahlberg's ball was somewhat fortunate as it sort of just falls off Sander Burge. Sarr doesn't do the finish, though. If we avoid defeat, we get Champions League, is what that said. No, because City are a point behind us still. And even if we win, there'll be 3 points with a better goal difference, so that doesn't work. Media lied to me. Stevens on a left back. It's quite early in the game, actually, but Ruggeri wasn't having a good game, so just get him off now. We'll demand a little bit more from my side. Smith heads on, goes nowhere. We don't even get the second ball here. De La Felo, can't say his name, on short notice, apparently. Great challenge there, even if it was a bit janky animation-wise. Gallardo just hold the ball up, finds Gomez. Gomez out to Maddison, not quite. And that has been dinked. Nope. Badiashile will find Maddison again. Brewster in a bit of space. Back to Maddison, perhaps. Yes, it is. Pathetic shot. Although it's not the end of the highlight. I did feel like that was a bit weak for the highlight. He's just thrown it up the other end. And Sarr, brilliant challenge. What? The text says that looks harsh. I don't know where Fofana's going. Come back, Fofana. There is no penalty. Damn right there wasn't. Just held up the game for no reason there. Again, no one's playing badly. Everyone seems to be quite... Burge might have a crack from distance here. He does. No one's playing badly. They're all quite happy, seemingly. Gomez for Palacios seems like a decent shout at this stage of the game. Don't have anyone to replace Brewster with up front, really, so can't do anything there. Gallardo whips the ball in. Badiashile, was that? Nope. Again, gathered easily. Wasn't the main part of this highlight. Dahlberg is going to hoof it up once more. Does get through for Fafana. Whoa. Dangerous. Dangerous passing there. Benoit. Don't know why I first named him there. Ender Stevens. By the way, I quietly put Ender Stevens on the bench instead of Kolasinac for this one. He's had a better year, and I've not played him in a very long while. Maddison. Yes, lads. Yes, lads. He scored 4 goals all year, and he scored twice in these last 2 games. James Maddison, you've waited to the end of the season to be useful, but I appreciate all the same. In the absence of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, we did need someone to step up, and I'm very glad it's the other biggish money signing. We didn't really have a massive money signing, but Maddison, I think, was technically the most expensive once you factor in the discount we got on Calvert-Lewin. Although I think Fafana might actually technically have been more expensive. I think it depends on how the extras pan out. But Liverpool definitely doing the business. Fitness levels is going to be this last one here. Gallardo on the right-hand side. Marcus Edwards is back. We'll bring Edwards on. De La Frelo is 4 minutes left. Fafana heads that back out again to De La Frelo. Punts it back in. First goal of the year. It's his first ever goal for Watford. I think he's a youngster. His number's 37. I mean, who's at fault here? 2 players go for it, and it's actually, after bigging up Xhaka, it's not great from him. Whilst he does flap a bit, I'm putting it on the 2 defenders who both missed the header. Last 4 minutes, we'll go attacking. We should have the legs for this. Burge. Maddison, not on the end of that one. You know what, with fresh legs, we're going to tell him to go down the right-hand side as well. Maddison is knackered. Gagliardini heads it down to Maddison in the end. Brewster heads it down, I should say. Maddison, still Maddison. Finds Burge in space. Oh, wide. And this is 1-1. Could have gone either way there, really. 1.58. Good value for their goal. That, simply put, was not good enough. The fans clearly felt they should have taken off Ryan Brewster today. Why did you leave him out there while he was underperforming? Because I don't have a backup. Someone assassinated all my strikers. No comment. So the title's out, thankfully. Whilst we are 3 points behind, goal difference means we're not going to win the title. We were still technically in the running for that had we won that. Interesting picture there. Transfer spend in the Premier Division. Sheffield United, £30 million profit. And the only ones to make any profit. And we've done better, somehow. This genuinely might be my best season of Football Manager ever. If you've watched me on Twitch over the past couple of years, I've done Burnley and Southampton after they finished 17th in the first simulator season. That's how I used to do my first Football Manager save on Twitch, was simulate the first one, take over the team in 17th. And both the first seasons of those, I finished 6th, like I did here, actually, with Sheffield United. Get into the Europa League and then typically struggle the next year a little bit more, and then struggle to get back into Europe. Not here. So the final day of the season is Liverpool-Manchester United, fascinatingly. Chelsea at Burnley. Never know how that one's going to pan out. Burnley can always be a stubborn customer. Watford did play Newcastle on the final day if Newcastle had been in a better position to capitalise, but alas, Manchester City is the one we've got to pay attention to. They're up against Brighton, who are so mid-table it hurts, really. 42 points, can't go any lower than 12th, can't really go any higher than 10th. Meanwhile, we've got Bournemouth, who again, fighting for their lives, because they're the ones that could go down in place of Watford. Apparently we need to show Marouane Fellaini onto his weaker side. I think we just need to press him and just keep the ball away from him. He's got to be about 36 by now. 34, a little bit younger than I thought he was. Well, the good news is Caicedo's back for 75 minutes, but the even better news is Dominic Calvert-Lewin is back and fully fit. No even sort of returning to fitness badge on him. He is completely fine, apparently. And with that in mind, complete forward, please, Dominic. Xhaka in goal, Ruggieri, Badiashile, Fafana, Caicedo right back, Gagliardini, Burge, Maddison, Gomez, Gallardo, and Calvert-Lewin. Arguably my best side. Just full stop. Come on, lads, we qualify for the Champions League. If we win here, of course, win here, it doesn't make a difference what Manchester City do. We are a point ahead of them. Didn't show you the Bournemouth lineup, but that's what they've got going for them right now. It's not really massively different. Oh, they signed Nakajima, did they? What a mistake that was. As Fellaini nearly scores a goal. Slagged him off before the match and he nearly scores. Rookie mistake though, getting Nakajima. Rookie mistake. I think Watford have scored. So at this stage, Bournemouth are going down and Fellaini nearly gets another header. Can we mark Fellaini, please? So, free kick headed clear. Calvert-Lewin on the charge. Now, he's got a lot of work to do from this position. However, it's a highlight for a reason. So, what is going to occur here? Is it going to be a Bournemouth counter again? Perhaps. Or are we going to get on the end of that? Junior gives it to Burge, gives it to Gallardo. Junior available on the overlap, although Maddison, oh my lord, that's one of the best goals in Football Manager. He scored in all 3 games. That generally we've not really done anything. It's been a very quiet game. A lot of players on 6.3, 6.4, even a 6.2 from Gallardo. However, that is not 6.2 worthy. Good God, the assist, the goal, the everything about that. I genuinely can't believe what I've just seen. We have actually saved the best till last. Look how boring the game was up to that, though. Jesus wept. And that arguably has been the difference all season. Now, it's normally been Calvert-Lewin to provide the little bit of magic. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're not like massively better than a lot of the sides. I think we're sort of on par with the Wolves, the Leicesters of the real world. Obviously, the Leicester in-game isn't necessarily quite as good. Of course, they're not even in the Premier League this season in-game for us. But sort of the Wolves. Wolves are about 7th. We're sort of on par with the Wolves, maybe even Arsenal at this stage. But the difference has been just in the games. There's a little bit of magic as Brooks equalises. That's irritating. Tried to sign him back at the beginning of all this. They weren't having it when we couldn't offer any money up front. But then I moved on. So he scored 5 times as well, which is even more irritating. It's a really good finish. It's a really good finish. Nothing Xhaka could do about that one. Now, I haven't seen what Manchester City are doing. I'm going to presume they're ahead, although they were drawing last time I think that is the most obvious penalty I've ever seen as Fellaini trips Gomez, I think it is. It's the most Fellaini thing I've ever seen. Sometimes Football Manager gets it bang on. Penalty awarded. I'm not sure who takes this. Is it Maddison? Who's my best penalty taker? It is Maddison. Who misses entirely. Junior's being rubbish. Jones comes on for Gomez. Maddison moves into the middle for the time being. I've gone attacking for this last bit. The XG is obviously massive because of the penalty now. Can we do something? Calvert-Lewin, I'm going to keep on just because of the quality. He's going to ruin his goal per game ratio, though, I now realise, no matter what happens here. Nor for Gagliardini, fresh legs in the middle. Of course, with Liverpool beating Manchester United, it didn't matter anyway. 1-1, it's disappointing. That wasn't good enough. We have bottled the end of the year, but thankfully, results elsewhere have worked in our favour. As we end up 3rd, Manchester City lost to Brighton. All right then. Like I said, Liverpool being Man United meant we went ahead of them anyway. Chelsea do the business over Burnley, massively so. Certainly wasn't a tight game in the end. And goal difference is what decided the league. Chelsea, 4 goals on the day up. Liverpool, 1 goal on the day up. Chelsea take it on goal difference. We have 52 million and a wage budget of 1.3. As Guardiola is sacked by Manchester City, who of course only end up in the Europa League. You get some money though at the end of the year. Just going to highlight very quickly what we need for next year. Of course, left back, thinking of that. Ruggeri is 2.5 star. Not going to get any better. He should be the backup. Ender Stevens is getting on a little bit. Maybe he's good enough, but if we have to move him on, we have to move him on. I argue right back needs to be improved. I think Kaisera, fine for the backup. 3 stars, can play both sides. Adam Smith, 2 stars, probably not good enough anymore. Right hand side's fine. We've got Renier, we've got Marcus Edwards. Centre's fine. We've got Gomez. Obviously, Maddison's meant to be there first and foremost. Palacios. Which actually, I think, means the left-hand side is problematic because Brewster's not good enough. Curtis Jones is on loan. Maddison shouldn't be playing over there anyway. So I think, realistically, the attacking playmaker is going to be Maddison and Palacios. The deep-line playmaker is going to be Burge and Gomez. Gagliardini's fine as the box-to-box. Norwood can do the box-to-box fine. I don't think we need to improve that position either. And Calvert-Lewin's fine as well. Cavani's obviously a very good backup if he's okay next year. I think I might need a young coming-through striker. Someone who's happy to be 3rd choice, perhaps, coming through as an emergency backup striker, because we don't have that at this point. Someone who's going to develop over the course of his time here to maybe be on par with Calvert-Lewin, and obviously as Cavani retires at the end of next year, probably. Someone who can step up to be actually 2nd choice at that point. Those are my summer targets, those 4 positions, I feel like. Goal machine achievement, I can only presume that is Calvert-Lewin. And here is the end of season review. The new arrivals, how did they fare? Helander technically gets the best average rating because he mostly played in the Europa League. So his ratings are somewhat inflated because he did typically play in the easier games. Calvert-Lewin, 38 goals in 39 starts. Irritating that you lost that. How is it a C+? What more do you want, board? I mean, yes, his wages are quite high, but we needed to get him in. 5 players, worth it. 6 players, worth it. Gomez, Hendricks, Fofana fill out that top bit with Marcus Edwards as well. Now, Ruggeri, 7.5 million is a lot of money for what he offers. But he's valued more than that now. So perhaps he's all right. Xhaka, 11.5 million, well worth that money. Fofana was slightly more than Maddison, not by much. But Renier, though, less than $1 million, by the way. Hasn't started a lot, will play more next year. Cavani, I don't know what we're going to do with him. Hopefully he doesn't decline too much. Palacios' average rating was 6.4 in the end. That's a bit unfortunate. A-. A- for finishing 3rd. I'll have a look at what the season preview says afterwards. But yeah, Calvert-Lewin top scorer, 34 goals in the league, 4 elsewhere. Biggest win, over Basel, of course. Match to remember was beating Chelsea in the Carabao Cup, apparently. Calvert-Lewin in the 89th minute. I'd argue the Newcastle match match to remember there. And actually, that 94th minute goal got us third in the end when you think about it. 2 less points, we would have finished 5th. And goal of the season is McBurney. Gagliardini's, I'm not going to even watch that one. Gagliardini's goal from this episode was better than that. No new deals, but money well worth it. Calvert-Lewin, Cavani, Maddison, Berge, Gagliardini on the shirts. And that's what they think our best 11 is. Adam Smith, 6.94, questionable. Klassenacker's a 7, again, questionable. I think he just played the most games at left back in the end, though. Bafana and Badiashile the wrong way around, but that's fine. McBurney's in the midfield. What? I don't know what this nonsense is. SI, I know you just done a hot fix recently, but can you fix this, please? Because McBurney only started 14 games. Yes, he had a 7.1. He scored 7 goals in 4, but that was all in the Europa League. Burge, I think, averaged over a 7 for the season and played all of his games there. Maddison, Brewster, despite the poor end of season. I can understand the players who got work permits late in the season and didn't play that many games, not featuring despite some of them doing quite well. But McBurney? Really? And in midfield? Not where Brewster is? Considering that's where I played McBurney most of the time. Player of the season, Calvert-Lewin. Young player, Benoit. Signing of the season, Calvert-Lewin. Goal of the season, wrong. Collado got 7 assists. Calvert-Lewin got 11 player of the matches. Record breakers, of course. Calvert-Lewin. Again, Fofana with the worst discipline. And highest transfer received for Lys Mousset. Wasn't quite the 42 million we could have got from a Chinese club, but 33 I'll take up front. How's he doing? Because we do get 9 million if he does get games. Does appear to be starting. That's good news. We get 9 million if he plays 50 games. Why is McBurney in the midfield? Why is Montiel in this team? None of this makes sense. Gallardo makes this. Gallardo makes the overall best 11, despite not making the season best 11. What? Gagliardini is only a substitute, despite being here for 2 whole seasons. Burge is nowhere to be seen, despite being here already. I don't understand any of this. Fofana and Badiashile, okay, the goalkeeper's changed, that's fine. Ender Stevens, fine. Adam Smith, fine. Brewster, okay, he's been here 2 years. I did play him mostly last year. Okay. But Montiel, no. Gallardo, arguably I thought Gallardo was actually better this year than Edwards overall, but Edwards was in the season best 11, so this makes no sense. The target next year is top half. The Champions League target is to reach the group stage, which we automatically are, so low expectations from the board there. I need to convince them no matter what, apparently. It's a bit unrealistic to be thinking about qualifying for the Euro Cup. I did that one as a test, actually, because as a rule of thumb, you should always just go for whatever the club vision says. I went one higher, and they think it's too unrealistic. And now they're offended. We're in the Champions League, and you think it's too ambitious to get in the Europa League. What is wrong with you? Just give us a good account. There we are. That went well. Oh, and Premier League best 11, Calvert-Lewin. Just general look at this. In total, top of the player of the matches. Didn't nick into the clean sheets, unfortunately. Xhaka in the end. Average ratings, he's not quite there. I think he was about 7.3. He was actually 4th, 7.37. He wasn't far off. We were predicted 8th at 150 to 1, finished 3rd, and I get an A-. Anyway, I'll see you for next season. Again, happy Christmas. If you're watching this afterwards, I hope you had a nice one, and happy New Year. If you're watching after the New Year, then hope 2021 is doing better than the last one. Until next time, thank you for watching. Ta-ra.